Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are completing the Neo Classics. We've done parts 1 and part 2 at the Red Bull Ring and Fuji, and today we're at Willow Springs. So here we are loading in Neo Classics at Willow. It's a groovy little circuit. Actually it is, but it isn't if you wait for the commentary to find out why I think that. But we are today using Sauber Mercedes C9 from 1989, racing hard tyres. And here's the setup. Now, there's a little bit of a nuance with this, folks. You're going to see us choose the normal ECU, but I promise you prior to that, it wasn't the normal ECU. And as I finish this review, I'll say let's go to the track, we'll do the setup doodah, and then I'm going to click go on the race video. It's actually going to start when we're in the setups, just tweaking the setup. So don't go thinking something's different. It's not. It's definitely set up like this because I want you to understand the tuning processes we go through. So if some of you like to just use my tune and go straight off the bat, you'll find there's a definite difference between the normal ECU and the racing manual. So racing arts, as we said, PP for this is 800. So we're hitting this at 799.96. Fully customizable suspension, and I've changed nothing. Fully customizable diff, I've changed nothing. Purely because that's default. It's a race car. It'll take what it comes as. Front and rear downforce. Now I've added some to the front. That's at 660. I think it defaults in at 640. 1350s as it comes in. Normal ECU as opposed to customizable ECU. But check this out. PP doesn't change. That's what I'm talking about what's weird. Normal ECU, PP's the same, horsepower's the same. Don't get it. Breaks my brain. However, ballast, 198 kilos, pushed it to 29 to the front with power restrictor at 89. You'll notice balance there for front and rear weight is 50-50. Transmission manual, fully customizable at 330. Nitrous, I've added it. If we get to use it, we get to use it. Turbocharger normal. Now we can add a turbocharger, but we've chosen not to. Everything else is default as it comes with the car. Nothing else is changed. It says we can use a steering angle kit, believe it or not. Don't know why we choose to use that, but hey, we could look at that future. And that's the setup for the race. But as I finish this, we'll just go and look at the settings of the track. Settings for today's race at Willow Springs are 10 times fuel, 12 times tyre wear. And we notice that with racing hards, you're never going to get away with mediums. You'll have to stop. PP's 800 or less, and we're just inside that. Year of the car, 1980, 1999 at the maximum. And here we are at the circuit, so we're just going to take you through the settings. Assist settings for today's race will be manual transmission, traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off, nothing ever any different. The race is on hard, the game is on hard settings, and with that let's just show you my controller because we've had some questions over Christmas. So open configuration, controller sensitivity 0, force feedback on 5, force feedback sensitivity on 5. I am using a G29. But with that, folks, let's go to the race and a little bit of an ad-lib at the start. What can we do with our setup here? What can we do? What can we do? I don't know what we can do. The speed's alright. The front downforce is fine. What if we go to normal ECU? Oh. What? don't understand. I'm a bit quiet here, folks, because I'm a bit surprised at what's just happened when I've changed some of the engine settings, and I didn't really think about commentating. I was concentrating, and it got a bit rough and it got a bit raggedy, but we're with you. So I'm actually running a normal ECU at the minute, and I've got the fuel map on 3, and it doesn't actually look like it's very fuel efficient. So I'm probably going to have to change the fuel map to 4. And we need to reclaim about 0.6 laps. That was a very cheeky dive bomb, but we made it with 13 seconds behind the leader. For anybody that's been watching this or getting an understanding of what's been happening, it's only me actually that's seen this from the start, so I'm going to have to give you the same rundown that I've given everybody every race when I've commentated on it so far. So it's getting a bit boring for me in my head. However, I've messed that lap up tremendously. But here we go. So the idea for this race is a no-stopper. In the previous races we have ultimately attempted no-stoppers, but we've had a couple of glitches, I think. The race at Fuji was glitched by rain in the last portion of the race, which we would run the race on inters, and it looked like well gone. Thankfully though, here there's no rain. At Red Bull Ring we attempted the no-stopper and it didn't rain, and everybody pitted, which was great, which is what we anticipated. I shouldn't have won at Fuji, to be honest. And here at Watkins Glen, Willow Springs, let's get the right track. A 1:12.646 was my last lap. That's not going to be enough to win this race, not by any means. Especially when we outbrake ourselves going into one of the easier corners. Not good. Let's talk about the circuit while we're here. As we've misnamed it Watkins Glen and it's Willow Spring by Economic Shooting. But that also leads in quite well to actually what this circuit means to me and why I probably misquote it, and it's purely because it's not a well-known circuit to me. Of the 3 tracks we're talking about, the Neo Classics, I actually don't have a great affinity with any of them. Fuji is a bit of a no-mark track to me, and whatever it is, a 110, that's better. We're back on something that we need to be. But that 2 seconds lost is going to be real critical. Red Bull Ring, not one of my favourite circuits, or wasn't one of my favourite circuits. I did tell you last time round that it was the site of my first GT7 win and GT Sport win on the old sport racing, online, daily races, but that's all it has for me, the old Red Bull Ring. It's a short circuit in F1 terms. But here, let's talk about here, because this is what it's about. This circuit didn't feature much in my childhood and growing up, didn't know the circuit at all really, I would say. In terms of, it's a very famous American circuit, made in fact by it's one of the featured racetracks on Ford versus Ferrari, and if you haven't seen that film, I would suggest you do so. The track is the site of the first couple of races of the programme, and I think we can look at fuel. We've got 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go. We've actually got half a lap spare there, so We'll drop it down to map. Oh, come on! Map 3. And then anything that's spare over the 3, we're going to use nitrous. Just maybe into that apex a little bit tighter than I was anticipating, so got on the grass, gas nicely, and that works well for me. Is this Mr. Mendoza? No, it's not Mr. Mendoza, it's Mr. Gallo. So we are making some progress. 15 seconds behind the lead, and I don't really think I need to be much further back than that. Cookleman's just put in 108s in, so I'm expecting him to do 107s, probably a little bit quicker. Solis has pitted, he's in the Escudo, he likes to burn all his fuel early in the race. 5.4 laps of fuel. Going to just give it a bit of the old R3 just to get some nitrous on the go. Not usually this close to Gallo this part of the race, so has there been an incident up front? It's nice to be here. He's my teammate. We put in a 108.82. That's great for this car. We tried to repeat that super duper bend there. We did all right. I'm 14 seconds back at this point. 4.6 lakhs of fuel. We are going to put in a little bit of nitrous as we go down this start-finish straight, I think. I just need to leave my entry into here a bit late. Here we go, get on that gas. Up to 5th, chase down. That looks like Mr. Bishop in front. Need to get in front of the Alpha. Probably changed down a little bit too aggressively there. Could have carried more speed through that corner. Had I finished talking about the circuit? Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari. So if you haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, I would definitely watch it. It's a great film. A little bit of a tearjerker as well, but I won't give it away. Anyway. Where are we? 14.9 seconds back. We don't seem to be making any inroads into that. Mr. Bishop in front. I'm expecting him to go to the pits. It looks like we have just a little bit of juice left, so we can give it a squeeze of the nitrous as we end this lap. There he goes. Bishop's gone in. We've done the nitrous. We've got 3 laps to go. 3 laps on the fuel. Bishop's had to take fuel. We did a 109 again. We're 15.1 down. Miazano is really stretching it as we leave the circuit. Going to keep my foot in. Just tap the brakes to get back on the track. We're proper messing this up. Finding all sorts of ugly lines here. Who is that in front? 15.2 down. Is that Mr. Grady in front? If it is, so 2 cars have gone to the pits. That's Vizal and Cookable. And Miazano hasn't, and Grady's also in, so that's not Grady in front. We haven't got enough juice to give us a pump on the old nitrous, and we haven't done enough here. We're just getting in front of some of them, but Miazano, is he going to pit now? Have we got the legs to overtake Vizal? We're making the difference, but we're just not doing it. We're making too many mistakes. Logano's gone to the pit. I don't think we've... actually, because he's taking fuel. He's now leaving pit lane. There he is. Oh, we're just blowing it. We got the 787 chewing our butts, but they're getting blocked by a lap car. I'm going out wide to see if I can cut round them. Lopez in the McLaren is doing just probably what it takes. So I'm exploiting a known issue with GT7 at this point, and that's the back markers. And I have the problem is that they don't have a lot of fuel left. I need to break away and run free. Oh, this is probably the worst, most appalling set of commentary. But I don't know what's coming out of my mouth now because I'm just trying to do everything I possibly can. 0.2 of fuel to go. It's going dark. I can't really see him in my mirrors. I don't need to blow it on this last corner. 0.1 of fuel. Do I go nitrous? I've run out of fuel. I can do everything I can to block them. I've done it. Oh, shockingly bad win. Shockingly bad win. But there it is. Oh, that's about 10, I'd say 10 goes at that with different cars. And that got us through. There it is. Shockingly bad. But we did it. Blocking. Well, there we go. It's against the AI. They do it to us enough. Different car. Happy days. Everyone's a winner. And there's the disappointment. Only 121 Ks. We won't get a clean race for that. I wouldn't have thought. And there she is. Well, that's that one done, folks. Genuinely, I'm a little bit surprised that we managed to do that. It wasn't the cleanest of races, it wasn't the best of commentary, it wasn't the most of fluid, but it came off the back of a setup change that wasn't 100% expected. And with that, we achieved the win. I hope you can duplicate it, I hope you can replicate it. I genuinely hope that you can get this nailed. There have been some significant updates since the last time we did this 4 months ago, and I appreciate the question from the subscriber that said, mate, this is almost 5 months ago, can you redo them because some of your setups are nerfed, they're not working. So you've now got 3 setups, 3 different cars, and you've got the opportunity to go out and win them. I know the 787B will win them hands down with a very minor adjustment on the last race setup that I did 4 months ago. The 787B is OP here. It will do it as far as I'm concerned. I haven't even tried it, but I know it will. But you've got 3 ways of winning it, and I must admit, all 3 ways of winning it this time round are probably genuinely just a little bit fluky. But as we can see, there are some glitches along the way, and that's no surprise with GT7. That's what it does to us all the time, I think. We get to see a little bit of the weird way GT7 works, and as you can see, that's the same way with the setups between the normal ECU and the customizable ECU, but not on every car, and that's the weird thing. However, that's that one done. We're going to move on to something else after this. But with that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for sticking with it, sticking through, for watching it. And if you don't watch this far in videos, you're not going to see all this jibber jabber and all the unnecessary stuff that some people don't need. However, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for hitting that subscribe button. It is most appreciated. And it's the key thing I need. If I'm going to do anything with this channel, we need to hit the minimum subscriber requirement, and I'm nowhere near it. So if you can do that little thing for me and hit that subscribe button, these videos will get better. You'll see more of them, and you'll hopefully progress further with the game. But you'll also see wider area content, because that's where I think this channel needs to go. If we're not getting the content just from, if we're not getting the subscriptions just from GranTurismo, I'm obviously needing to do it somewhere else. So I'll stick with GranTurismo, but genuinely I need to go and get a wider audience and get more coverage on other games. So that's what we're going to go and do. We're going to intersperse this with other games and see where we go. But that's got to be the plan, because I can't rely on GT7 to make this channel what it is. It's got to be down to me. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. All the best. Take care. Bye now.